Rich. This isn't just Oklahoma's problem. Texas is already cracking, North Dakota's rigs are down nearly 40%, and the dominoes keep falling. This is the start of America's next industrial collapse.
Dealerships across Oklahoma City are drowning in unsold trucks. Prices are crashing, sales have vanished, and the lots are turning into graveyards of pickup dreams.
Oklahoma's oil fields are going dark. And I mean completely dark. Over 3,200 oil workers lost their jobs in the last 90 days alone. Drilling permits have dropped by 68% compared to last year. And crude prices, well, they've crashed to levels we haven't seen since the pandemic began. But here's what nobody's talking about. This isn't just an energy crisis. This is a full-scale automotive apocalypse that's about to devastate pickup truck buyers across America. Local dealerships in Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and across the oil patch are hemorrhaging inventory. Ford F-150s that were selling for $65,000 just 6 months ago, they're now sitting on lots with $15,000 price cuts, and still nobody's buying. Chevy Silverado HDs built for oil field work are collecting dust, and Ram 2500 diesels, the trucks that oil workers would line up to finance, well, they're being repoed faster than dealers can auction them off. Now, this isn't a temporary dip. This is an extinction-level event for the American pickup truck market as we know it. And if you think this only affects Oklahoma, well, buckle up, because what's happening in the Sooner State right now is about to ripple across Texas, North Dakota, Wyoming, and every other energy-dependent state in this country. The dominoes are falling, and the carnage is just getting started. So before we dive deep into what this means for you, whether you're trying to buy a truck, sell one, or you work at a dealership watching your commission checks evaporate, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash that like notification. Because the information I'm about to share could literally save you tens of thousands of dollars or warn you about a financial disaster headed straight for your driveway. Now, let's talk about what's really happening on the ground in Oklahoma. And trust me, it's way worse than the mainstream media is reporting. Oklahoma's economy has always run on oil. When crude prices are strong, the entire state thrives. Restaurants are packed. Real estate booms. And pickup truck dealerships? Well, they can't keep inventory on the lot. Oil field workers making six figures would walk in, finance a $70,000 Ram 3500 dually, and drive off the same day. It was the American dream on four wheels. But that dream just became a nightmare. Crude oil prices have plummeted from $87 per barrel in early 2024 to hovering around $61 today. Now, for the average American watching gas prices drop at the pump, that seems like good news. But here's what they're not telling you. This price collapse is absolutely decimating the domestic oil industry. And when the oil industry dies, the pickup truck market dies right alongside it. Oklahoma alone has lost over 3,200 oil and gas jobs since August. That's not just roughnecks and drillers. That's engineers, geologists, equipment operators, and support staff. All the people who made up the backbone of the heavy-duty truck market. These weren't people buying Honda Civics. These were the guys financing $60,000 to $80,000 work trucks, often 2 or 3 per household. Drilling permits have crashed by 68%. Active rigs are down 43% year over year. And here's the really terrifying part. Major energy companies are now projecting that crude prices won't recover to profitable levels until at least late 2026. Translation, those jobs aren't coming back anytime soon. And neither are those truck buyers. Walk into any Ford, Chevy, or Ram dealership across Oklahoma right now, and you'll see something you've never seen before. Absolute desperation. Sales managers who used to play hardball on pricing are now practically begging customers to take trucks off their hands. And I'm not exaggerating. A dealership in Oklahoma City that I spoke with off the record admitted they're sitting on 287 unsold pickup trucks right now. That's nearly triple their normal inventory. Their holding costs, insurance, interest on floor plan financing, property taxes, are running $300,000 to $40,000 per month, and they haven't had a profitable month since June. Another dealer in Tulsa told me they've slashed prices on 2023 and 2024 model year trucks by an average of $2,800, and they're still not moving. Why? Because the people who used to buy these trucks are either unemployed or terrified they're about to be. Nobody finances a $65,000 pickup when their industry is collapsing. The situation is so dire that some dealerships are offering what they're calling oil worker loyalty discounts. An additional $5,000 off if you can prove you worked in the energy sector. Think about that. They're literally targeting the exact demographic that just lost their jobs, hoping to squeeze out one last sale before these customers go completely broke. And here's where it gets really ugly. Repossessions are skyrocketing. One repo company I contacted said their Oklahoma contracts have increased by 156% since September. They're pulling back F-150s, Silverados, and Rams from driveways across the state. And where do those trucks end up? Right back at dealership auctions, flooding the market with even more inventory that nobody wants. Here's the thing that makes this situation so catastrophic. Timing. See, back in 2022 and early 2023, when truck demand was insane and inventory was scarce, dealerships went absolutely wild with orders. They were placing massive orders with Ford, GM, and Stellantis, expecting the boom times to continue forever. Because that's what always happens in the oil patch, right? Prices go up, prices go down, but they always come back. Except this time, they're not coming back, at least not fast enough. So now dealerships are stuck with warehouses full of 2023 and 2024 model year trucks that were ordered during the boom and delivered right into the bust. We're talking about F-150 Larets with $8,000 in dealer markups that are now being discounted $15,000 below MSRP. Silverado 2500 HD diesels that were selling $20,000 over sticker are now being advertised at invoice pricing, and still crickets. The problem is even worse for higher trim levels. Those King Ranch F-150s, High Country Silverados, and Limited Rams, they're absolute poison right now. Oil workers bought those trucks to show off their success. But when you're collecting unemployment, the last thing you want is a $950 monthly truck payment on a luxury pickup. One general manager I spoke with in Lawton said they've got 42 high-trim trucks that have been sitting for over 180 days. In the truck world, that's basically considered dead inventory. Banks are starting to pressure them on floor plan financing. And the manufacturer is threatening to cut their allocation if they don't clear out the old stock before the 2026 models arrive. It's a death spiral, and there's no easy way out. Now, if you're in the market for a pickup truck and you've got stable employment outside the oil industry, this is actually the buying opportunity you've been waiting for. But, and this is a massive but, you need to be incredibly strategic about how you approach this. First, understand that dealerships are desperate, but they're not stupid. They know which trucks are dead weight and which still have some value. Those base model F-150 XLs and Silverado work trucks, yeah, those are still holding value pretty well, because contractors and small business owners still need them. The deals aren't as aggressive there. But those mid to high trim trucks, the Lariat, King Ranch, Platinum, High Country, Laramie, and limited editions, those are where the blood is in the water. Dealers are sitting on these things knowing that every month they hold them, they lose another $800 to $200 in depreciation and holding costs. I'm seeing 2023 Ram 2500 Laramie diesels that were selling for $78,000 last year, now advertised at $59,900. That's over $18,000 in savings for a truck that's barely a year old with less than 15,000 miles. Ford F-150 Lariat Super Cruise that listed at $68,000 are now going for $52,000 to $54,000. These aren't clearance prices, these are panic prices. But here's the catch, and you need to pay attention to this. Financing is getting tighter. Banks are starting to pull back on auto loans, especially for pickup trucks in oil-dependent regions. They're seeing the repo numbers, they're watching the unemployment data, and they're getting nervous. So even though prices are dropping, your interest rate might be 2% to 3% higher than it was a year ago. You need to factor that into your total cost. Also, trade-in values are collapsing. If you're trying to trade in your current truck to take advantage of these deals, understand that your truck is worth significantly less than it was 6 months ago. Dealers know the market is soft, and they're lowballing trade-ins hard. You might be better off selling privately, but even that market is drying up fast. Now, here's where the story goes from bad to absolutely catastrophic. What's happening in Oklahoma right now isn't isolated. It's a preview of what's coming to every oil-dependent state in America. Texas has already started seeing similar trends. Dealerships in Midland, Odessa, and the Permian Basin are reporting inventory gluts and declining sales. North Dakota, which was booming with back-end shale production, is now seeing rig counts drop by 38%. Wyoming's energy sector is shedding jobs at an alarming rate, and Colorado's oil-adjacent communities are bracing for impact. The numbers are staggering when you look at the national picture. The American Petroleum Institute estimates that the domestic oil industry could lose over 47,000 jobs by mid-2026 if crude prices remain suppressed. And every one of those job losses represents a potential truck buyer who just left the market. But it gets worse. See, the pickup truck market doesn't exist in a vacuum. When oil field workers lose their jobs, they stop going to restaurants. They stop shopping at local businesses. They stop buying homes. The entire regional economy contracts. And when that happens, even people with stable jobs start getting nervous and delaying major purchases like new trucks. We're already seeing this contagion effect in Oklahoma. Retail sales are down 14% year over year in key oil counties. Restaurant closures are up 22%, and real estate listings have increased by 31% in the last 4 months. People are trying to get out before things get worse. And here's the really scary part. This is all happening while the overall economy is supposedly stable. Imagine what happens if we hit a broader recession. The pickup truck market could face a decade-long depression, not just a 2-year slump. Now let's talk about the dirty secrets that dealerships absolutely don't want you to know right now. Because while they're offering these massive discounts, they're also playing some very strategic games to protect their bottom line. First, they're pushing leases harder than ever. Why? Because leases get the inventory off their lot and transfer the depreciation risk to the leasing company. You might see an ad for a $399 per month lease on an F-150 and it looks amazing. But read the fine print. That's probably with $8,000 down, a 24-month term, and only 10,000 miles per year. They're structuring these deals to look attractive while still protecting their margins. Second, they're absolutely destroying customers on trade-ins. A truck that Kelley Blue Book says is worth $32,000 in good condition, dealers are offering $26,000 to $27,000, claiming market adjustments due to the oil crisis. And technically, they're not wrong. The market has adjusted, but they're using this crisis to lowball trades far more aggressively than the actual market depreciation justifies. Third, they're loading up on back-end products. You negotiate a great price on the truck, and then in the finance office, they hit you with extended warranties, gap insurance, paint protection, fabric protection, and every other add-on imaginable. These products carry 60% to 80% profit margins for the dealer. So that $15,000 discount you fought for, they're planning to make $6,000 to $8,000 of it back in the finance office. And finally, they're playing the waiting game with customers who aren't in a rush. If you walk in and say, "I'm just looking," they'll be friendly but not particularly aggressive with pricing. But if you come back 2 or 3 times, or if it's the last week of the month, that's when the real deals appear. Dealers know which trucks are bleeding them dry every day, and they'll make deals that seem almost too good to be true just to stop the financial hemorrhaging. Here's something that's keeping dealer principals up at night. The 2026 model year vehicles are coming, and they're coming whether dealerships have cleared out their 2023 and 2024 inventory or not. Ford, GM, and Stellantis don't care that dealers are drowning in unsold trucks. They've got production schedules to maintain, factory workers to keep employed, and quarterly earnings to hit. So the 2026 F-150s, Silverados, and Rams are going to start arriving at dealerships in the next few months, whether there's room for them or not. This creates an impossible situation. Dealers will be forced to make even deeper cuts on older inventory to make physical space for the new trucks. We're talking about potential fire sale pricing. $20,000 to $25,000 off MSRP on some 2023 and 2024 models just to clear them out. But here's the catch. If you're a buyer waiting for those deals, you're gambling that your local dealership survives long enough to offer them. Because the reality is, some of these dealerships won't make it to 2026. They're going to go bankrupt, get absorbed by larger dealer groups, or simply close their doors and walk away. And when a dealership closes, your warranty service gets complicated, your parts availability suffers, and your truck's resale value takes an additional hit because there's one less place for the next buyer to service it. So let's get practical. Whether you're a buyer, a seller, or a current truck owner, here's what you need to do immediately. If you're looking to buy and you've got stable employment, this is your moment. But don't rush. Dealers are getting more desperate every week. If you can wait until the end of Q1 2026, you'll likely see even better deals. However, don't wait so long that inventory completely dries up. The sweet spot is probably February or March 2026. Focus on 2023 and 2024 model year trucks with higher trim levels. Those are where the deepest discounts are. But get a pre-purchase inspection even on newer trucks. Some of these have been sitting on lots for over a year, and that can create its own problems with batteries, tires, and fluids. Negotiate everything separately. Purchase price, trade-in, and financing. Don't let them bundle it all together. And for the love of God, avoid dealer add-ons in the finance office unless you absolutely need them. That's where they're going to try to make back all the money they lost on the purchase price. If you're trying to sell your truck, do it now. I'm serious. Every month you wait, your truck is worth less. The market isn't recovering anytime soon. List it aggressively on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and AutoTrader. Price it $2,000 below comparable listings, and you'll get it sold. Yes, you'll take a hit on value, but that hit is only getting worse. And if you own a truck and you're not selling, just hold on tight. Keep making your payments, maintain it well, and ride out the storm. These market crashes are brutal, but they do eventually recover. It might take 2 or 3 years, but your truck's value will stabilize eventually. Just whatever you do, don't let it get repossessed. That destroys your credit for 7 years and you'll never financially recover. Here's the thing that nobody's really talking about. This isn't just about trucks or Oklahoma or even the oil industry. This is a canary in the coal mine for the entire American automotive sector. The pickup truck market has been the profit engine for American automakers for decades. Ford makes more money on a single F-150 than they do on 5 Fusions. GM's truck division basically funds the entire company. And Stellantis? Well, Ram trucks are one of the few bright spots in their otherwise disastrous portfolio. If the truck market collapses, and I mean really collapses, It threatens the financial stability of these companies. We're not talking about bankruptcy tomorrow, but we are talking about massive layoffs, plant closures, and potential restructuring that could reshape American manufacturing. And let's not forget about all the ancillary industries: tire manufacturers, parts suppliers, aftermarket accessory companies, finance companies, insurance companies. They all depend on a healthy truck market. When truck sales drop 30% to 40% in a region, all of those industries feel the pain. We're watching in real time as an entire ecosystem built around American pickup trucks starts to crumble. And the scary part, we're only in the first inning of this crisis. Oklahoma's oil bust isn't just an energy story, it's an automotive apocalypse that's already here. And it's spreading faster than anyone anticipated. Pickup truck dealers are hemorrhaging money, desperate to move inventory at prices we haven't seen in over a decade. Oil workers who once bought trucks like they were going out of style are now defaulting on loans and watching their trucks get repossessed. For buyers with stable jobs, this is the opportunity of a lifetime, if you're smart about it. For sellers, it's time to cut your losses and get out now. And for the industry, well, buckle up, because this is going to be a long, painful ride. The collapse isn't coming, it's already here. And what happens next will determine whether the American pickup truck market survives or becomes another casualty of economic forces beyond anyone's control. So what do you think? Are you taking advantage of these deals or are you staying on the sidelines? Have you seen these price cuts at your local dealership? Drop a comment below and let me know what's happening in your area. And if you found this video valuable, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because the automotive industry is changing fast. You need to stay ahead of the next wave of price cuts could hit next month, and you'll want to know about it first. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.